Spitz TV News. What up, what up? What's really good, y'all? You already know. It's your boy, Reg Spitz, and we back with another episode of Spitz TV News. And this week, we had plenty news to discuss, so let's get into it real quick. You know what I'm saying? Welcome, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all know how we do over here at Spitz TV, bring you the finest news, the best news for the week. And the first thing we need to talk about is Eric Holder found guilty in killing Nipsey Hussle. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's vindication for the family and friends of Nipsey, vindication for the fans, and it just was a wild situation, you know, the circumstances surrounding the murder. I mean, you know, this just brings closure, or if not, feelings of, man, this shit is finally over when it comes down to the death of Nipsey and how it went down with the murderer Eric Holder being found guilty on 2 counts of voluntary manslaughter, assault with a firearm, and possession by a felon of a firearm. So family members and fans can rejoice over that. And his actual sentencing date will be September 15th, so stay tuned to that if you're looking to see what's going to really happen to Eric Holder. But salute to the family over there, and I'm glad that Nipsey got justice. Next, we're talking about R. Kelly. And y'all already know this whole saga of a story has been going on for a little while. It's been going on for years. Talks of R. Kelly doing this and doing that. I'm not going to get too deep into it. If you ask me about R. Kelly's music, we could talk about it on the side, but I'm not going to discuss it here. But he received 30 years in a federal prison, and this is one court case. So R. Kelly, I believe, has 2 more court cases to endure. He definitely has, his next trial is for federal child pornography and obstruction in Chicago. And he's also facing felony charges for prostitution of a minor in Minnesota. So, you know, that's what's happening with Kelly. He was also put on suicide watch, and he sued the Brooklyn jail, which he is being held in, for just basically unsanitary, unhuman circumstances that he claims that they are putting him in. So, you know, that's what's going on with R. Kelly. Not going to say too much else about that as well, because the next topic is much more important, and I feel like I want to talk about that more. We're going on to talk about the next topic, and it is Brittany Griner, still locked in a prison in Russia since March or February, I believe, for having a few pens that might have contained THC, which is the chemical in marijuana. It's just unjust, man. And because the whole Ukraine versus Russia and United States providing aid to Ukraine, I believe that's why they are unjustly holding Brittany. But we definitely have a few artists in the game that are speaking up about the situation, as well as we've heard now new developments. Governor of New Mexico, Bill Richardson, is going to go over and advocate for her release. So we await what's going to happen there. And we just hope that Brittany is released, man. Justice for Brittany Griner. I mean, that whole situation is just terrible. And we definitely love to see Brittany back home here in the States. Brittany, if you're hearing this, salute to you and your family. Stay strong, and you'll be home soon, hopefully. Next topic we got to talk about is Tim Westwood. And I'm pretty sure all my hip-hop heads know who Tim Westwood is, a trusted interviewer or radio personality over in the UK. He's been accused of sexual misconduct. And it's 6 allegations. He actually stepped down from his show in April. And we're just going to keep an eye on this one, man. Tim's 64 years old. I mean, he's interviewed some of the biggest artists in the game, such as Lil Flip when he was going against T.I. He was definitely interviewed Jay-Z a few times. He's also interviewed Cameron, Dipset. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep our eyes close on that. You know how it goes. Sexual misconduct, a no-no. So we definitely don't know which way, if the accusers are, real, if these allegations are founded upon real foundations. But we're going to keep our eyes glued to that situation like we do. Another important situation to talk about. Next topic is Emmett Till. And everybody knows who Emmett Till is. His case has been, earlier this year, talked about being closed. But his family, very persistent, as they should be, because if you know the story behind this case, Emmett Till was kidnapped in 1955 and then subsequently beaten brutally and then lynched. And the accusers, or the folks that accused him of whistling at a white woman, which was Carolyn Bryant Dunn, it was found there was evidence that her husband and brother were linked to the kidnapping and the brutal beating, as well as the lynching and other members. But here, more importantly, is Carolyn Bryant Dunn, her husband, and her brother. And as you know, that case was tried by an all-white jury, and those folks were acquitted. But like I said, the case was talked about being closed earlier this year, and the family of Emmett Till were not going to sit with that, with no justice. And so we have Emmett Till's cousin, Miss Deborah Watts, and her daughter, Terry Watts, leading the search group to keep the case alive and to get some type of justice for Mr. Till. And they were looking for these papers that might, keep the case alive. And they subsequently come upon a search warrant for Miss Carolyn Bryant Dunn. That was never executed, and it's just been laying in the bottom of some box in some courthouse down south, which is terrible. So it's good that this has been found. Activists, the new Black Panther Party, and others have been calling for her arrest, and there have been protests around some of her known locations and where she possibly could be residing. So we'll keep our eyes glued on that, as well as you guys need more information toward that monumental civil rights case. I definitely, personally, Reg Spitz, want to see justice brought for Emmett Till. It's been 55 years. So, matter of fact, over 70 years. So it's just an appalling situation or case when it comes to the United States justice and judicial system. And we need some of those wrongs righted. This will be one of them. So shout out to Emmett Till's family for finding that document. And you guys keep your head up as well. Hopefully some type of justice will be brought to that case. And now we at that segment. We at that segment. We at that part of the show where we talk about the album of the week. Album of the week this week. We're going to go ahead and talk about that Brent Faiyaz Wasteland album. And I checked it out, y'all. This is his second album after a string of EPs. And the features on the joint, Georgia Smith, Tyler, the Creator, as well as Alicia Keys. I thought it was a complete project, really enjoyable. Y'all go ahead, get in the comment box and tell us how many flames you're going to give it. But we're going to give it 4 flames over here. I thought it was great. Couple of introspective tracks, couple of grooves for the club. So y'all go ahead and pick that album up. It's called Wasteland by Brent Fires. Go on and get it. Album of the week. You heard? And that's going to wrap up our show this week. I appreciate y'all. Everybody that's having hard times, keep your head up. Hard times don't last. Be good to yourself and each other. You know how the world is going nowadays, so just try to formulate a plan. And like my man Tupac said, plan, apply, and strategize, and then bomb first. Get to it. Do what you got to do, and keep your spirits up. But that's gonna wrap this week's episode of Spitz TV News. You already know this is your host, Reg Spitz. Take care, y'all, and I holla.